I'll just give you a heads up. We're on a bit of a time crunch. We only have 35 minutes of battery, which for us is not a lot of time.
It's a record.
But, yeah, but I'm sure we can talk about this fine. He doesn't know what we were talking about. Rob, let's do a real thoughts on a video we put back up recently and has been taken down and put back up, taken down, put back up. Let's talk about The Purge.
The Purge works.
Yes, it just works. A little history about this movie. I saw the trailer, so it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. My wife really wanted to see it on Valentine's Day.
See, that's how you know you married the right woman.
I guess,
It was either that or some rom-com, okay?
Yeah, no, I'll give it that, but at the same time, it's like, I like how Valentine's Day is turned to, like, it's like the Valentine's Day Massacre Day. I think they get, like, it wrong with the movies, because then Deadpool comes out on Valentine's Day and everything. So I see this movie, and we both have a pretty good laugh. We thought it was very, very funny, even though it wasn't supposed to be funny. And it was just something where afterwards I just couldn't stop talking about it. I couldn't shut up about it. It was just making me laugh how ridiculous it was. And I said, we gotta do a review on this. And recently I've kind of tried to do films that in some way tie into nostalgia. I'm gonna do something recent. So I probably wouldn't do something like The Purge nowadays. But it was just so friggin' stupid, but also so entertainingly
made me nostalgic
bad.
for better horror movies.
Maybe. It's just, I had to talk about it, and you didn't see it until I said we're doing a review of it. Like, we're doing it because I also thought the guy looked a lot like Matthew, and I'm just like, we got to do this because Matthew looks so much like this guy. That's all I could think of, and nobody else was drawing that comparison. And of course, Matthew did an unbelievable job in the review.
And, no, that same dude, he was the best thing in the movie.
His name is not Henry, by the way. That's actually the name of the boyfriend. But since he didn't have a name, I decided that's just as good a name as any, so I just assumed there's two Henrys in the movie. Because people remember that character much more than the boyfriend who just out of nowhere came in and whatever, tried to shoot the dad or some dumb shit. It was so pointless.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
He was in, what the hell was it I was watching? He was in something. It was, Arrow. He shows up in Arrow as this, like, minor role. And
there are no minor roles when it comes to him.
It was one of those things where it's like, he definitely was more restrained, but I'm like, no, he'd better end up being a bad guy, because I cannot take him seriously as, like, somebody who's supposed to be a quote-unquote good guy, and sure enough. And he was great, but that one drove me nuts, though, because I didn't recognize him the first episode, and then the second episode, I'm like, is that the dude from The Purge? I'm like, no. I'm like, it couldn't be. I'm like, maybe, and then, like, they seriously, I swear to God, were just like, well, you act like it's The Purge or something, and then, like, he cracks this smile, and I'm like, oh my God, they did it. They did. You did it, Arrow.
That guy is, like, the one guy who's just having, like, the time of his life.
Way too much fun.
Yeah. Everyone else is, like, trying to take it seriously. I'm sure, like, maybe in his head he kind of felt like, or maybe I don't know, I'm jumping to conclusions, but he acts like, in his head he's thinking like this is gonna be like the chilling Oscar contender, to go up there or something like that, and it is just so over the top and so crazy, but so passionate. It's just so entertainingly fun.
I was reading an interview, I don't know if it was the director or the writer, but with one of the main creators involved, and they were saying, like, they base it on the idea that everybody gets one. Like, wouldn't it be nice if you could just kill one person?
It was like the director's wife.
Yeah.
Said that. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody just got one day where, they could do it or something like that? But I think she meant it as a comedy.
Either a comedy or just an idea. The problem I have with it is it takes itself too seriously. Like, no, we're going to come up with this whole system.
Happen, guys.
And
we're not too far off.
It's our future. Well, I mean, we're only, 2 months away from potentially having Trump. I
mean, there's a lot of shit that I thought could... Granted, there's a lot of shit I thought could have happened, but I still can't see that happening, at all. I just can't see people agreeing to that. Or at the very least, when this movie came out, there was nothing else, just like, yes, America, it could happen.
It's not even agreeing. Oh, I could see plenty of people who would agree to it.
Not enough to get, like, a vote or anything like that.
Again, Trump.
I know, but it still seems even the Purge.
We're living in the year where like that happened, so it's hard for me to say, oh no, I could never see people voting against their best interest. Of course, but it's more that the entire economy wouldn't collapse in a heartbeat, that the entire nation wouldn't just completely crash. You do that once.
Well, because it makes no sense. Just all violence, doesn't come from we're just angry. It really does not come from that. I mean, there was no insight to what,
I'm angry.
Well, I mean, of course it can. Often does with you. But there's no insight to...
See, you're just too happy.
There's just no insight into, like, why people do crimes and violence and stuff like that. I mean, there are people who do it because they have to. It's not just, I'm just pissed. That's not the reason.
The whole commentary was weird because it's like, it's a rich white family that holds themselves up but then gets attacked by another rich, entitled, white, preppy-looking kid. And like, I don't know what the hell the movie was trying to say, but it felt like it was trying to have some sort of socio-political commentary, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell it was, though.
It just totally doesn't work, and it makes no sense.
But that's if I can't believe in the premise, like, that one idea was kind of cool. Like, I'm just like, no, that would be an interesting idea. Like, if you get one kill and you can legally get away with it. Mm-hmm. Because that's different from the Purge.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of a Purge, I'm like, in one night, the entire country would just fall apart. Like, and if it had done this more as a dark comedy,
it
would have gotten away. Like, if this was like fucking Demolition Man, I would have.
Or if this was like Idiocracy or something like that, where there's this really funny, although even that's seeming more real to life nowadays than the Purge. But even Idiocracy, I could buy more. Like I said, I mean, we are kind of, in a way, seeing that more nowadays, but I could buy that more. The Purge, there is nothing to it that will, like, satisfy the mass majority and also work. Bring, like, this peace and have everybody okay and stuff. And the whole idea of the movie is trying to prove it doesn't work. And it's like, no shit.
I know, they're lying. The Purge, well, I will give the sequels this much credit. Apparently they, like, start to, like, rip apart the flaws.
No, okay, I saw the second one. I didn't see the third one. I saw the second one. The second one is almost a good movie because I swear to God, the director, same director and writer, listened to all the criticism of the first film, said, that's a good point. And then
this is all bullshit.
Yeah, and wrote this sequel that actually, like, kind of shows, like, yeah, it wasn't working, and, like, it's actually kind of a conspiracy by the government and stuff to, like, get rid of poor people and stuff like that. It's like, this is so much better. It is, like, much better commentary. Yeah. It goes out into the city. It shows the world.
It still wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. Like, you couldn't have.
No, it doesn't quite work.
You would literally have to have every nation involved do it, because if America did that, I can't imagine what would happen to the global economy.
Yeah,
just do one purge. Look at what happened after fucking Brexit. Now imagine in the United States just decides to do a purge once a year. Like, imagine that. So it still wouldn't work, but at least he's trying.
But the second film, because I saw the second film thinking, like, oh, maybe we have to review that too, because, to follow up. It's like, I mean, it doesn't quite work, but it's like, it's really close. I really gave them credit that they were trying to fix the problems of the first one, and they really do fix, like, the majority of them and try very hard to make it make sense. It doesn't quite work, but it's like really, really close. Like, and it was actually a lot more entertaining and the characters were more interesting and it showed all the various other things you can do with it, not just Home Alone, except reverse where the kids are trying to get after the adults. So I really, really gave credit to that sequel. I didn't see the third one.
Electioneer. Actually, that was the one that by the trailer I probably just wanted to see the most, because I'm like, okay, that looks fucking hilarious.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know if the movie's good or not. I actually didn't even read the reviews because I'm like, well, I'll just catch it on video sometime.
I didn't realize it came out, honestly.
It did. I thought it did. Wasn't that a summer movie?
No, I think it did. I sort of forgot it came out.
That was the only one. Like, when I saw that trailer, I was laughing my ass off. I'm like,
the crowd I saw with was laughing too. But again, I don't know. It's like, are they going balls to the wall? Like, this could really happen? Like in the first film, or are they like kind of retconning it and making it a little clever and like maybe it'll kind of come full circle and everything will make sense in that.
I don't know.
One. I'm really curious.
I was hoping it would be the Army of Darkness to the Evil Dead series. The first one's super serious, second one's pretty funny, and the third one's like, just fuck it.
But yeah, and I think there's some, because the film was a big hit, I think it's an idea almost like out of the 70s, like sort of those extreme futures, those extreme
it's
dystopians.
dystopian, like...
And not that we don't have those dystopian, movies right now, they're mostly like young adult books, but there's something where this just seemed like such a basic, chaotic idea. Kind of like Hunger Games, just like get children together and they kill each other, and but it's
I'll be honest,
but it's more like get children together, kill each other, and it somehow like saves the world, like it's a good thing. That would be like what? But
the one thing that drove me nuts about, I'll be honest about Hunger Games, the only thing that drove me nuts about it was I didn't like the world building in that. I'm just like, this makes no fucking sense. I'm like, even in a post-apocalyptic future, it's like the idea that they would keep sending kids. I'm like. No, like, none of this really is making any sense to me. I didn't give a shit that it was Battle Royale or whatever. I'm like, whatever. But even in that, I'm like, it didn't make any sense. I just thought it was a better story, than The Purge was. The Purge just had nothing to it.
Well, and the Hunger Games had, I know it's a weird comparison, but Hunger Games did have interesting characters. They had an interesting world, even though, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense about it. But, it's intriguing, and what's going to happen next with this one, it's just Home Alone. That really is it, except it's serious. It's serious Home Alone, and it's all like, this could happen. Hunger Games, I don't think there's ever a fear. They never emphasize, America, we're going this route. I never think it's the focus of
Home Alone crossed with Panic Room and some second-rate slasher movie. That's what The Purge is.
It's like if... Yeah, it's like if Hunger Games was happening, but we were watching it all from the rich side, and they were just really trying to emphasize, to everyone, including the people at home, it works. It really works. It really works. And then, wait, it doesn't? Yeah, so there was just this pretentiousness that first one that drives me nuts. I just didn't like any of the
characters either.
Except for... Henry, whatever, our fake Henry.
He was the only one I liked.
Because he's the only one having fun. He was the only one.
It's kind of like Willy Wonka that way. Like Gene Wilder is the only kind of likable character, and you're kind of just rooting for him to kill all the other kids off. It's the same. It's the same idea. Like it's just like I like him.
But even those kids are enjoyably, despicable and jerky and stuff. Like nobody in this is, enjoyable or unique or anything like that. They're just kind of.
That would have been hilarious if they were like the kids. Can it, Dad? I want to purge now!
Wouldn't it be great if Henry was in that group, was in Willy Wonka's group, and then just, I want to blah, blah, blah! Boom! You see, Mr. Wonka, I'm getting that everlasting gobstopper.
Just let us purge.
We gave you a chance to give us that gobstopper! And you denied us! Oh my god, the funny thing is, make flashbacks how much fun he was.
I guess the only thing that bothers me about the movie, it wasn't even the movie, the movie just, to me, would have come and gone and I wouldn't have given a shit. It's the way they had this following of people that were just like, no, this is important. This means something.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me about I'm like, no, this is garbage, guys. Enjoy it if you want, but this is garbage.
If it could really go, like I said, the second one at least...
And if it were goofier, I actually would have liked it a lot more. If it acknowledged...
If it was like Death Race 2000, the original.
Oh, fuck, that would have been great.
How much more fun would this movie be?
Oh, hell yeah. But when it almost reminds me of... you hate this movie more than I do, but I know what you're saying about when you talk about District 9. It reminds me of that kind of thing. It's just it's so pretentious about it, and I'm like, you should have just gone as a dark comedy.
Yeah. Well, District 9 tried to, but it wasn't funny. And it wasn't good commentary.
Was it a dark I watched it.
It's trying to be everything. It's trying to be like The Office. It's trying to be like Blair Witch Project. It's trying to be like an action film. It's trying to be, dark commentary. It's trying to be serious, trying to be funny, and it just fails on all of them. Movie sucks. Different vlog. Sorry. I know a lot of people love it, but it sucks!
I feel like this movie's kind of in that boat of what you
just that it's that so pretentious, no, we can see, you can't. This movie will allow you to see. It's that pretentiousness.
How many people kept hounding us with messages about and comments about just don't get it.
Well, District 9 definitely.
No, I'm just talking about this one. I got a bunch you don't get it. It's a commentary. It's a commentary. No.
There's this sense that just because it's commentary doesn't mean it's good commentary.
Yeah. The problem I wonder if this was a problem like when we were kids with film goers that would have been our age now, with our parents, like 30 years old. Like, of course, they didn't have the internet back then, but this idea that like you could throw out any like stupid commentary, but you're like, you don't get it, it's commentary.
Oh, I definitely, while I was younger, I ate up all that stuff. I definitely did. But I didn't
it's
get...
not good commentary.
Yeah, I didn't get angry if someone else didn't like it or something, especially if I heard why and stuff, but I mean, there was like this, well, what the hell is that movie? I loved it when I was younger, and then like a week later, I'm like, this actually sucks. Waking Life, remember? Like, we saw that. This was this animated, like, mind-blowing thing where it's gonna
Which one was Waking Life?
It's easily forgettable. It's like nothing but like a bunch of different... It's just people sitting around talking philosophy, and it's animated. And it sounds like
that fucking movie.
Yeah, like that could be really abstract and really interesting what you can do with animation, and they don't really do anything with it. It really is just people talking about philosophy. And when I was younger, I ate it up because I didn't like see anything like that. I loved philosophy and I loved animation, but a week later, I was just like, yeah, what did that
movie
add? That could have been. What that really
that movie
could
went
have
in one ear, out the other, which is what this movie does if it wasn't for not Henry.
Yeah,
like he's the only thing. Whenever I think about that film, I only think of him. I don't even. You know what? I don't even remember what the family fucking looked like. Like I can't even
Ethan
remember.
Hawke, that's it.
I don't even remember. Oh, it was Ethan Hawke. Okay, I forgot. I can't even remember. Like that is how disposable those characters were.
Well, and how much... At the very end, there's the twist that the neighbors actually want to kill him. Yeah, totally didn't see that coming. How much more fun, again, would it have been if you just see the neighbors next door and they're trying to get in, and it's just like these sweet little old ladies or middle-aged ladies and stuff, and, this guy that works as a gardener or something, they're just trying to get in, they wear the mask, they got the makeup, and they just turn total psycho. That'd be so much fun.
I'm sure that was some sort of... You don't get it, Doug. It's commentary. Because in real life, you're more likely to be killed by people you know.
It just works.
And not total strangers. So that was a clever commentary to show you how, in reality, they were afraid of the wrong people. Now, of course, they were going to get killed by total strangers, like in the beginning of it, so that means the commentary is sort of muddled. But it's clever!
It just works. Yeah, I think that's the idea behind the movies, that they're trying to show it would work, but at what cost? No, it wouldn't work, and the costs are incredibly obvious that no one would ever do it.
I would find a more fascinating tale is if they did an Escape from New York style, where you set up some like libertarian utopia that, a quarter of the country is always wanted, and you just take like 3 states, chain them together, build a giant fence around them, and be like, okay, no laws there. Go do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but you can't. Once you go in, once you go in, you can't leave. But that would be an interesting, like, make a movie about that and see what happens.
Yeah,
there.
I feel like there's a good idea here, and there's good commentary there that they just haven't tapped into and chose not to dive into. They just sort of left it at this very basic idea.
Yeah.
It's produced by Michael Bay, so you can see, like, he's like, no, just emphasize the bad, evil, this could happen, stuff like that.
Produced by Michael Bay, so it's like, let's have a hint of a brain, but make sure you bludgeoned it with everything else.
Yeah, it's like, this is a guy who's trying to make Transformers movies serious, and he thinks they're really high drama. You play the big, epic music when they're on, and the choir going, Optimus Prime, and it's like, no, and he's gonna do the same, Optimus Prime, and he's just trying to do the same thing with The Purge, even though he didn't direct it. So like I said, I really give credit that the second film does try to really retcon it. I do want to keep bringing up the second film because I really give kudos that it did that, because there's a lot of films that come out and they suck.
I'll have to see this movie.
But they're hits, and then like the sequel just does the same thing because hey, it worked. It just worked. But
the Purge works.
Yeah, but with the sequel, the director legitimately tried to make it better, and like I said, I really salute you for doing that. I just think that's really, really cool that he tried. He saw it, he noticed it, and he tried to fix it. I have no idea if he did the third one. I don't know if it... Maybe the third one does come full circle. Maybe the third one somehow just retcons everything.
It, so I kind of want.
I love the tie into election year, especially this election.
I'm sure Brad does the midnight screenings. I gotta ask what he thought of it.
Yeah, but
I suppose I could just look it up.
I'm okay because I saw the other two. I might as well just see it. I might as well watch it. But yeah, it was. this movie sucks. The only entertaining part is the concept for how seriously they take it, and not Henry. Those really are the only two really enjoyable things about it. So yeah, trying to think.
Not Henry. Portrait of a Nazi.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about this film to say. I feel like it's all kind of in the review, and even though...
And how do you go back to living... Like, how do you live in the same fucking neighborhood with people who tried to kill you the night before?
We'll
like,
find some way. The Purge works so well, they just accept it.
I did...
But does it?
Doesn't work.
Does it work?
No, it doesn't.
But does it?
Like, just imagine if those neighbors had failed. Like, well, I mean, they do fail, but imagine had they lived. Like, you're gonna sit there and, like, get the mail and water your plants the next day, staring at grandma across the street, like, tum, tum, tum.
Well, my favorite too is that, you know...
sense.
No, I forgot about the ending, because, like, the neighbors came and they're gonna kill him, and then, like, you know, what's her name? Queen Lannister comes in and knocks him out and says, no, nobody else is gonna die here! So they just have them all sit there quietly. It's, like, a minute before the Purge ends, and then, like, one of the women is like, yeah, tries to grab the gun, and she smashes her head and says, we want peace! And it's like, were they really so desperate to kill these people that it's like, 1 minute, you know, and it's like, it's really obviously not worth it. So yeah, this movie is so dumb. This was one of those very therapeutic films to talk about, like, just, oh, it feels good to finally talk about this, because, like, not everybody loved it. It wasn't a critical hit, and a lot of people that saw it, yeah, that was pretty dumb, or it didn't make sense, or whatever, but, like, yeah, the ones that were just so sucked into it, just like, you know, the commentary, and it just felt so good to rip into it. So, yes, it's a very therapeutic.
I like it for the funny and or unintentionally funny parts.
Yeah.
So, and of course, just Matthew's brilliant.
Yes.
Just let me splurge. That
God,
bit he
so
did where he
good.
smacked himself into the wall and then is like,
Yeah. He's so funny in that. Of course, the Pig in the Brain cameo at the end, just all of that. It's a really funny review.
oh, that's right. That was that
Yeah,
one.
that was the one with Marisa Marsh and Ron Paulson at the end.
You beelined and like tracked them down in the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen.
I held them at gunpoint.
were
I
like-
had my own Purge.
She was like walking straight, and then all of a sudden, poof. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's about it. All we can say is the Purge works.
No, it doesn't.
But does it?
No.
But does it?
No.
But does it?
No.
But does it?